and it will be 2,000 miles closer. I know that isn't enough, but it's a kind of progress.
Gilead has survived rebels, Mayday attacks, angry handmaids, political chaos, and June Osborne basically waking up every morning and choosing violence. But Season 2 of The Testaments may be about to introduce a completely different kind of nightmare, a teenage girl named Daisy. Yep, that's it, one teenager. And somehow she may be one of the most dangerous people Gilead has ever allowed through its doors. Because Daisy has something Gilead absolutely hates. She knows the truth. She has lived outside. She has seen freedom. She knows women can read, study, make choices, listen to music, use smartphones, and basically live their lives without asking some terrifying commander for permission to breathe. And now, Daisy has voluntarily decided to stay inside Gilead. Who approved this? Because Gilead may have just locked the rebellion inside with its own daughters. The Testaments has officially been renewed for Season 2 after its first season aired in spring 2026 and concluded on May 27th. The renewal was announced on May 20th, and according to Hulu, the series has already been streamed globally for more than 45 million hours. But we still don't have an official Season 2 synopsis. We don't have a premiere date either. Showrunner Bruce Miller has said the scripts are being written and he hopes production can move quickly. Part of the reason is actually pretty simple. The show's young stars are playing teenagers, so you probably don't want to wait 8 years and then ask everyone to walk back into Gilead pretending they're still 15. You know, television has limits. Miller also doesn't want to rush the series and damage its quality, so right now the exact story remains secret. But the Season 1 finale may have left one massive clue: Daisy stays. And I think we really need to talk about how dangerous that decision could be, because Daisy isn't Agnes. Agnes grew up inside Gilead. She was raised under its rules. She was taught that this system was normal. For most of her life, she had very little knowledge of her real origins or the world outside. Season 1 was basically her awakening. Bruce Miller described Agnes's development as something slowly boiling over. Learning that June is her birth mother turns up the temperature, but Agnes isn't suddenly going to wake up, look around, and announce, "Okay, everybody, Gilead is terrible, revolution at 3. That's not how she was raised. Her entire understanding of life has been built by Gilead. Daisy? Daisy arrived with the answer sheet. She grew up in Toronto. She later infiltrated Gilead undercover, posing as a Pearl girl while secretly working as an informant connected to Mayday. Lucy Halliday, who plays Daisy, has described the character as someone with two sides. Even while Daisy was pretending to fit into Gilead, Halliday deliberately tried to keep Daisy's Toronto personality alive underneath the disguise. And that's exactly the problem. Gilead can control people when Gilead controls what they know. You can tell Agnes that reading is dangerous. You can teach Becca that obedience is holy. You can raise girls to believe that suffering is simply part of God's plan. But Daisy has seen Canada. Imagine trying to explain Gilead's rules to her. She already knows the system is lying. And Season 1 repeatedly showed how difficult it was for her to completely hide who she really was. She entered Gilead as an outsider and was placed beside Agnes, but slowly, the relationship between those girls became more important than Daisy's original mission. The Testaments has deliberately centered friendship and sisterhood among Gilead's young women. Chase Infinity has described the friendship between Agnes and Daisy as one of the freshest elements of the series because these girls are building real bonds in a society that doesn't truly allow them that freedom. And then the finale pushes Daisy into a huge decision. She can leave. June wants her to get out. Mayday can offer her an escape. Daisy knows exactly what Gilead is capable of. She isn't confused. She isn't discovering the truth. She knows. And she still refuses to leave. Why? Because she looks at Agnes, Becca, and the other girls and realizes something terrifying. They don't have a June Osborne. They don't have someone coming through the door to rescue every single one of them. So Daisy decides she wants to help them herself. Okay, now we have a problem. Because Daisy doesn't seem interested in creating one rebel, she starts talking about girls, an army. And no, we're probably not talking about a group of teenage girls suddenly running around Gilead with machine guns. This is still speculation, because Hulu has not revealed the official Season 2 story. But Daisy may have found a weapon far more dangerous to Gilead: ideas. Think about what she knows. Daisy can tell these girls that women outside Gilead read books, go to school, choose husbands, leave husbands, make their own decisions, can swear without someone immediately preparing a punishment. You know, normal Tuesday stuff. And once Gilead's daughters hear those things, how exactly do you make them forget? That's the weakness Daisy may have discovered. Gilead controls people by controlling information. Daisy is basically a walking information leak, and the people around her aren't random. These are daughters raised inside powerful Gilead families. Many of them may become future wives. They may marry commanders, live inside important homes, hear conversations, see documents, learn secrets. Daisy doesn't necessarily need to destroy Gilead tomorrow. Maybe she just needs to make these girls ask questions. One girl hears about life outside, she tells another girl. That girl starts wondering why she isn't allowed to read. Another girl begins questioning her future marriage. And suddenly, Aunt Lydia has a school full of teenagers discovering independent thought. Good luck with that, because teenagers are already difficult. Now imagine teenagers realizing you've been lying to them about their entire existence. Season 2 could potentially turn Daisy's rebellious spirit into an actual internal threat. Lucy Halliday has said the show's message is connected to sisterhood, community, and the power people can find when they come together. She also has described Daisy's rebellious spirit as central to her performance. So what happens if Daisy starts spreading that spirit? Again, a full underground network has not been confirmed. We don't know if Daisy will actually build an organized rebellion among Gilead's daughters, but Season 1 clearly leaves her in a position where that possibility exists. And Bruce Miller has made it clear that Daisy, Agnes, and Aunt Lydia still have many stories ahead of them. But here's where things get even more interesting. The television version of Daisy is different from Margaret Atwood's 2019 novel. In the book, Daisy is secretly baby Nicole and therefore June's daughter. The television series does not make Daisy June's daughter. The show has already taken liberties with the novel, including making Agnes and Daisy the same age and not actually half-sisters. For TV Daisy, that change could make her rebellion even more interesting, because she doesn't need to be June's biological daughter to continue June's war. Think about that. June's rebellion may no longer belong only to June. It has become an idea. Daisy saw it, Mayday carried it, and now that idea is inside Gilead, wearing white clothes and pretending to behave. That's probably the part Gilead should be worried about. You can hunt June, you can search for Mayday, watch borders, punish people, but how do you arrest an idea once teenage girls start whispering it to each other? And Daisy isn't the only girl changing. Agnes is entering Season 2 in a completely different emotional position. Her arranged marriage to Commander Weston was canceled. She learned that June is her birth mother. Drop your theories in the comments, hit like, subscribe for more of the Testament Season 2 updates, and I'll see you in the next one.